here. See what's going on here. Here we go. And let me actually get to this. Turn that off. There we go. All right. No one in the chat room. Something wrong with my system here? Got to refresh this. Huh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, I thought that was, I think it's interesting how the industry is moving forward and moving downward, which is unfortunate. But anyway, so it's a call-in show, people. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to hear about your weekends, hear about anything you learned about hair loss or hair transplant surgery. The number is toll-free 1-833-563-4247. Toll-free in North America, and using the calling app of your choice, you can call from anywhere in the world. Update for you guys that keep asking me about new doctors. I got about 15, I think, right now. I've been having people ask me about new doctors. I talked about two potential. Is it two? Yeah, actually 4. But there's one in particular that it's kind of funny. I was talking to him today, and he's concerned about the level of detail I need with some of the information I ask for, and I can't get into the details. But it's just kind of funny because he misunderstood what I was saying, and God bless him, he's been working his ass off to get me. Well, I can tell you what it is. It's the photos and video. He thought I was looking for professional quality. And I just kind of chuckled. It's like, well, no. I mean, he's been getting them for me, which is great. And I really appreciate the work he's been putting into it, which is another reason why I think he'll make a great addition as a hair transplant mentor recognized clinic. But he was relieved to find out that I'm not actually asking for what he thought I was asking for. The things I'm looking for when clinics are submitting documentation to me is I'm looking for enough clarity to where I can zoom in and look at individual hairs, which does sound very highly detailed, and it is. But he thought he had to use a certain type of camera to take those photos. And I was like, I don't care what kind of camera it is, as long as it gets me, this kind of clarity. It's not too dark, based on these parameters I set for. So, the good news is he's been flooding me with a bunch of photos and documentation today, which is nice. And I've been talking to this doctor for about a year, and I've been looking forward to getting all this information, and he's finally pushing it through. So, update on that. Just want to throw it out there, which means that you're about to see a really nice addition to the organization that I think you guys should consider. Assuming everything else goes well. I still need to look at some of the paperwork that he's going to be sending me. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I think that should everything go through, and I think it will. I don't see why not. He seems like a very passionate doctor as far as his craft. I always look for that, and I can tell. And I look for a lot of things about how the clinic is run. Excuse me. I think you guys will be impressed. So. All right, let's see. Quentin Gamer. Hey, Joe. Lauren from LA here. Cool. I like your name. I guess you're a gamer of some sort. I know nothing about gaming now. I used to be a huge gamer in the early 2000s and late 1990s. I was really big into a game called Tribes. And I think it was the first massively multiplayer online game where you could play it in a LAN setting, or you could play it online, and expansive, never-ending environments, fly around, shooting shit. It was fun, and I used to go to LAN parties with some friends. That was ancient history, but let me know what you play, because I've actually been kind of interested in some retro games. There's a game coming out called Homeworld 3. And back in the day, I played the original and then the sequel to that. So I'm interested in that. Anyway, let's see. Sergey Zarev likes to make lots of pictures with a micro camera. Yes, he does. He likes to. I like Zarev's photos, but the problem with his photos, as far as his patient results, is Quentin. That's fine, or Lauren. That's fine. You want to keep it honest? No worries. You can send me a private message if you want. I'd like to know. Unless you don't want me, want to keep private to me too. That's fine. But he takes his photos with a flash, and that's a problem for me. I like Dr. Zarev. I've talked to him, and I've worked on his stuff, his presentations for Global Hair Loss Summit. He's been a part of it every year for the past 3 years. It's a 3-year-old conference, and I edited his content, and so I know how good he is just based on a lot of factors. But if he were to try and be part of what I do, I'd have a problem discerning what it is, like the actual results that he's putting out there, because I know how flash affects the image. There's this theory of light called the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflectance. And what that means basically when it comes to hair transplant surgery or hair transplant results is that when a beam of light comes like a flash, comes at the hairline, any light that bounces off the forehead and everything, it goes up at a 90-degree angle, excuse me. But as it's going into the hair, it's flattening the image, but it's also creating an immediate shadow of itself behind each hair, and it effectively doubles the visible density or perceivable density, excuse me. Consequently, if you flip it around and you take a photo of the crown with a flash, it can actually make it look thinner, but it depends on the specific angle. The big problem I have is how it makes hairlines look artificially thick. Secondly, it hides the little scarring, the micro scarring that you can have, such as small amounts of pitting or cobblestoning. It hides that because the base of the hair or the scalp is slightly washed out. And so that type of situation, it's just it's not conducive for the most accurate photos possible. And I'd love for him to start including a set of photos, like in his photo sets, to be flash and no flash, just so you can see the difference yourself. So you can see it in this controlled setting where all the light is perfect, and that's what flash does, versus a more variable setting where the light is basically room lighting, or even outdoor. Outdoor isn't really, you can't really expect that because that's a lot of work for the clinic to do. But in the clinic, just turn off the flash. I'd love to see that. There's another very good doctor that was using flash. I talked to him months ago and said, you probably don't want to do that. And he's now doing that where he's doing flash and no flash, just to try to keep some consistency with the old photo sets that he made, which I understand. But that's a big subject for me as well. But Zarev is also, I was actually talking to another doctor today about Zarev, and they're like, what the hell is he doing? I was like, he's just basically the hardest working doctor in the industry, mapping out the donor area, making sure he's got precise distances between each extraction. So he combines the approach of getting as many as possible in one session or visit while maintaining as much space between extractions so you avoid the visible depletion of density. So let's see what else we got going on here. We got phone line is open. You can give me a call, 1-833-563-4247. I didn't have time to actually promote the show today. I did it on a Facebook group and then in the community section of the channel, but I've got a bunch of other outlets I usually promote on. and I didn't get a chance to do that today because I'm just really trying to pack everything in today. Didn't work out. So you got a message here. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, but guys, give me a call. Lauren, give me a call. See what, we won't talk about gaming. I won't ask you about anything like that. So your anonymity will be intact. But if you got any more questions, I love your questions. You're very direct and to the point, and I like that. But anyone else can call as well. 1-833-563-4247. If I don't get any calls, or even questions in the chat room, I will shut down because I got so much to do today. It's a crazy day. I got a video that's coming out this week. I think you guys will like it. It's taken a lot of work, not because of production detail that I'm not like creating a feature film or anything. I'm not really putting that much or the work into that aspect of it. It's the organizing of the content. It's been a very big challenge for me. Probably the most challenging video I've made in actually ever. But it's worth it. I think it's going to be a great piece of content for you guys to look at. And looking forward to that. And I got a bunch of other videos I'm making too. The worst lighting is a so-called bathroom effect. Every hair transplant looks thin and very frustrating. Yeah, you're right. In fact, I was creating a short video to send to a patient because I wanted to see his crown. I wanted to see him combing his crown. And so I started filming in one of my own washrooms. And I was just like, oh my God, the lighting is, because it's the spotlights. And yeah, those are the worst. LED spotlights are the worst, or spotlights in general. But sometimes bathroom lighting can be great if you have like one of those small windows that some bathrooms have, and it's side light. That can actually be really good. TJ Ed, what's up, Joe? What's up, TJ? I know you work with many clinics from Diferente. Sí, gracias. Hit the return button too fast. It's incomplete. Let's see. Any call? No? Okay. Juggling a bunch of stuff here, guys, so sorry about that. You can give me a call, TJ Ed, 1-833-563-4247. I can talk to you about your question if you got one. Anyone having surgery this week? I would love to hear from anyone that's having surgery this week. I won't try to talk you out of it unless there's a need to. But if you got surgery coming up, let's talk about it. 1-833-563-4247. I will be winding down if there are no calls. Let's see. Got a notice here. And but I will be back tomorrow if today's show doesn't take off. Let's see. What countries do those 4 new doctors represent? I can't tell you. Well, no, I'm tempted to, but no, I can't. Actually, one of them, if I tell you the country, you'll definitely know who it is. Yeah. Good question, but no, I can't say it yet. Hi, Joe. I'm not sure I've heard you mention this before, but how do you feel about hair vitamins outside of finasteride minoxidil? I've had a doctor suggest some over-the-counter products. That's from Eddie G1230. Eddie, thanks for the question. In general, I'm not a fan, just because most hair vitamins are simply they simply contain vitamins that you get in a multivitamin or in your food. I mean, nothing beats your food for getting vitamins, but that is only if your food is good quality food. Like if you're eating pizza every day, number one, I'm envious because I love pizza, but number two, it's terrible for, vitamin delivery. You need to have a good all-around nutrition regimen, your proteins, your green leafy vegetables, things like this, good quality milk for vitamin D, especially good meats for your irons and your proteins, things like that. And that's all. It's all your hair needs, really. But there is an exception to that. There are supplements, I'll call them minerals, one in particular that can help your hair grow faster. It also helps your nails grow faster. And it helps your skin overall. It's all the same stuff. And that is MSM. Methyl sulfate something. It's a word this long. And it's a mineral that's naturally occurring in our bodies anyway. It's in every cell of our body. But having more of this in our system actually accelerates hair growth, the speed. It doesn't help hair that's gone to come back or miniaturized hairs to thicken, as far as I know. I've never had anyone say that their hair is thicker overall from taking MSM. But if you're one of those people whose hair grows slower, like mine, I can't say my hair grows slower, but it definitely grows faster when I take this. My nails grow faster. I need a haircut twice as much in a month as I do without it. I need to clip my nails once a week as opposed to every 2 weeks. So, and I've known about this for 20 years. A lot of people back in the day used to take it. I don't know many people. I've not heard people or read about people taking it much today, but it's definitely a benefit. Like, there's no question about it. You'll also find it mixed with glucosamine. That's usually the way that I'm seeing it anyway in brick and mortar over-the-counter stores. But I actually order my MSM off of Amazon from a reliable supplier that I use in Canada. But yeah, you can get it anywhere. Most places will have it combined with glucosamine. I don't combine it with glucosamine. I just want straight MSM, nothing else. I hope that helps. Hope that answers your question. Nothing else I think is really, really worth getting into because, like I said, it should be in your foods anyway. Anything else? Anyone else? No? Okay. Any calls? No calls? All right, folks, I'm going to give this a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to wind down and get back to my projects. I jumped on here. I was fully intending on being on here at 3 o'clock, but I had a last-minute phone call come through that I had to stick with. I couldn't just because it was something I've been waiting to hear on, and they needed my input. And then after that, I had to make a quick phone call, and so all that took about half an hour, and that's why the show was late. So zoomed in here, fired everything up, and sat down in front of the camera. Didn't prep at all because I wanted to be here for you in case you needed some questions answered. If you want to talk about your situation. James Bond, I take glucosamine, HCI plus MSM. That's fine. I don't see any problem with glucosamine. It's just I don't like the idea of being forced to take one thing when all I want is the other. So that's why I take just MSM. Just got a new shipment in Friday, actually. Yeah. And let's see what else. Yeah. Okay. Slow show today, and I get it. It's because I started late, so everyone thought I wasn't coming back, but or firing up today, and that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and wind down. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds. It's now was it 4 p.m. on the dot? So I'll give you till 4 p.m. 4:01 and 15 seconds. So we got 20 seconds left. If you got any questions, give me a call. 1-833-563-4247. I also got some guests that are lined up. Haven't solidified any dates, but you will see that. I will be promoting those way ahead of time because I think that I think that helps for you guys to be aware of guests that are coming on if I promote them or promote that show more than a couple hours before we actually go live. So look for that coming up. And of course, if you're not a subscriber to the channel and you just found this in your feed, this is the hair loss channel or the hair transplant channel where we talk about hair transplant surgery and hair loss. And I answer your questions on this show. So hit the subscribe button. And when you do, after 10 minutes, you can actually take part in the chat room, ask questions, get answers, maybe answer other questions if you know those that other people are asking. And of course, like this video if you found anything about this late starting video helpful. But all of it helps the algorithm to boost me up in the rankings, so I appreciate that. So that's it. Looks like I'm going to head out, people. Okay, one more thing regarding HT. If you see empty spots in the recipient area in month 6, is that a reason for concern? No, you got more time. That's for John Lalangeman. Good to see you here, John Henry. Good to see you back here, buddy. So yeah, I'm going to wind down, guys. Thanks to those of you that tuned in and caught this later edition of the main event. I am winding down, so I'll try to be back tomorrow at the normal time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. I might even have a guest. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I am out of here. See ya.